Hello everyone, it's me again. So, I couldn't get a clear understanding as to like certain things that I was doing over this past week or so. A part of me was like, am I rebelling? Am I being, I don't know. Like, mentally I would say like a lot, the thoughts that I was thinking, the way that I was feeling, and then the I was going through like like I said in my previous video, my kids. Well, no, I didn't actually post that video. Okay, let me rewind here. So I did this whole video, right? And it was spirit guided, all of it. It was a test. It was a test to see if I listened to spirit. It was a test to see if I just follow through and do what spirit tells me. Because on the collective level, there's a lot of people in the spirit realm, in the 8th house. Aquarius energy is there now. I guess you could say the 11th house energies is in the 8th house right now, or Aquarius energies is in the 8th house. Jesus, I don't know. Take that as you will, however the hell you want to say that. My point is that on the collective level, at least what it feels like in my own consciousness, right? I can't talk for everybody, but how it feels in the consciousness is like the collective comes through for me through the internet, right? That's where you feel like this is the world. You could see the collective also, the collective of my neighborhood, the collective like of the people that surround my day-to-day, all that stuff. But the collective, when you really consider the whole of the world, like on a global scale, the only concept we have of that is what? The internet, right? So yeah, that is the Aquarius energy. And so for me, I couldn't understand why I was, number one, compelled to create videos about my spiritual practice. At first, and obviously I'm going in retrospect before I can get to the present at some points here in the conversation, but it's the way that I make sense of things, or it's just the way that it comes through for me. So I hope I'm like no longer apologizing for how my message comes through, as because I've been demonized for being all over the place, or having all these pieces of a puzzle that can't make sense to them, so therefore it must not make sense. No, I'm sorry, this is, but it's like, who do I tell? I can't tell the people around me. I can't tell, so I put it out there the way that it comes through, and I guess eventually as a collective we'll get all the pieces of the puzzle together, right? And I think that's what a lot of us have been compelled to do, but also separating yourself from the collective in a certain way where you have your independent life and you're not taken over by this need to expose, I guess you could say, everything of your personal life. The internet, social media, all that stuff is like, how far do they go, right? You get it. It's like they can't really, well, can they or can't they? You bring them home with you every day. When you're off your technology, it's like you're still in that world if you're still attached to it. And so, folks, I couldn't understand why this past week or so, like I have been pretty consistent with my channel, and my child got a flu, and then subsequently I got the flu, and then subsequently my other child got the flu. So we were all with the flu. So I took the time off to recuperate, but on the, let's say, the collective level, you could feel the pressure of, why aren't you, doing your job? And then it really put a lot of questions in my mind, and I started really, having a nice little conversation, a healthy debate with myself about who is this collective within that is demanding of me, of my time, to share my intimate space with my God, so to speak, right? Meaning, what I speak with spirit, right? When I talk to spirit, and I guess this is 8th house stuff, right? Occult stuff. But when I have my conversations with spirit, I know that these conversations are meant for me. I know this. I don't have to share my spiritual practice. I don't have to share my spiritual messages with any collective in any way. I don't have to use my cards to say my message, but I do, which is also considered taboo. You consider all the things that are seen as, you do witchcraft. When people are very close to you, that know that you're not a devil worshiper, get mad at you and decide that that's the first thing they want to say to you, you know that that's a judgment people have of you. When they want to call you a devil worshiper in a way to hurt you, those things are the things that people do out of judgment, out of fear, out of influence of others, despite what they see every day in their face, nothing to do with evil, right? They will still see things inside out, outside in, whatever, however you see that. But did I lose track here, sir? Ma'am? I do not know. So anywho, yeah, I think I did get deterred. All right, so back to what I was trying to say was that, I started having these debates, and but I made peace with all of them because it was nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with other people's perceptions of what I do, or how, or how I am, or my spiritual ways that are very unconventional, very different from what society deems to be normal. No, I don't go to church every Sunday, and I don't go by Christian, I don't go by Muslim, I don't go by Catholic, I don't go by a religion. I was not raised to be attached to a religion. And so all these topics right now, everything that I'm discussing is part of the 8th house, is the stuff of taboo, right? And so you start to see how when you bring that aspect to yourself to the World Wide Web and you expose it and express it and like it's normal, everyday stuff, you know what I mean? It's the stuff that makes people uncomfortable. It's the stuff that makes people judge. It's the stuff that makes people look at you and say, ow, what, I can't think like that, or I can't see like that, or I can't fathom that. It's just untapped into, gosh, it's an unwillingness to look into the darkness. And why do I say the darkness? Because how much a person hates, judges, or condemns, or makes bad, ugly, wrong, depending on what level that is determines of how dark they are, or how much in the dark they are. And darkness is just what it is. It's like being in a closet in the dark. Your mind starts to imagine things that are fearful if you're in fear. And you make up monsters in your head and project them because you're in fear. So those were all these things that, like, I've been kind of, I guess you could say, I don't want to even say, because I've grappled with, I guess I would say I would deal with, or that I've been subjected to in some way in this reality of life of mine to experience, that I've made peace with a long time ago. But you go ahead and you expose all this and you talk about it like it's nothing. And there's a whole world out there of people that are into the so quote unquote new age stuff. But then you touch on topics such as death from a very real space, or from a very or you talk about you talk about the darkness in a very real way. and all of a sudden you're evil. All of a sudden you're of the devil. And that's just the way it is, because the more you understand pain, and the more you can accept pain or tolerate isolation or tolerate abandonment and mistreatment of others, and kind of like take the high road, do the right thing, despite people not understanding you, not seeing you, you become the ghost to them in some ways, right? Or at least you feel like you're a ghost in the reality of some people's worlds, because some people really just don't see you. And those people are the people that are afraid. And those are all of 8th house issues, okay? So I guess you could say we can look into the 12th house as well, but I don't know, Spirit is just guiding me to talk about this 8th house stuff, because as well, here's what's interesting. I thought, okay, because I'm recovering from my flu and I'm in bed and I'm, just kind of relaxing. We've been doing a lot of sleeping, and it's, a lot of quiet. And then as soon as things got a little better, it started snowing and everything was like, oh my God, so beautiful. Like as quickly as things go up, things come down. And when things come down, or let's say they clash, things get disruptive, there's an opportunity for expansion, or an opportunity for wisdom, or an opportunity for the golden nugget of the experience. In other words, you get to realize like, oh wow, I can get something, I can extract some good learned lessons from this experience. And those are the things that you go through in life that make you more resilient or stronger, or whatever it is, right? So anywho, I was there relaxing and just taking time off from the internet. And the first post, I think the first post I did in a few days that I hadn't posted was of the inauguration, and it had to do with when the president stated a golden era, right, or a golden age. I remember discussing a vision I had of the golden age. I remember talking about this in 2016, 2017 or so, and discussing it amongst my friends, amongst, the people that I'm surrounded with. I may have made a video, I don't remember, but that I was talking about my visions, what Spirit showed me, the vision that it showed me, the things that were happening, the awakening that I was going through in some ways from that. After having had my son, giving birth to my son, I was having a lot of psychic phenomena happen to me. And the whole point of that, why did I even say that? Good Lord have mercy. Why did the Spirit take me all the way back to those times? And then it's like, what was I saying here and now? Coño. Hold that thought. Oh, the video, the inauguration. So when I posted that, it got a lot of attention, right? My videos don't get any attention like that. Anything I post about some celebrity gets a lot of attention, and I get it, but that's not what I'm here for. And I post these things not because of a personal preference or anything. I'm using content that is relevant in today's time that everybody can relate to. Everybody's witnessing what's going on in social media, right? Or at least in social media, or through the news, or in your society, wherever, in the United States. If you participate, you see what's going on around the world here and there. So I'll post relevant information because it's the theme that's showing up, and it's relevant to the astrology, and it's like a, I guess, I don't know, I don't want to say flag post, but it's like a mile marker or something like that. Some weird stuff. It's something to let you know. It's like a ping. It feels like it's a ping. Whenever I post something, it's like a ping from spirit. Here, post now this. And it's not like they tell me what to do or how to do it, but it's just, spirit just knows this information needs to be shared with the collective. This information, share with the collective. This information, share with the collective. Well, like when it's relevant, when it's meaningful, and I do it, right? And I have some, it could be some AI bot, of course, or it could just be some random buffoon that posted some dumb shit like, no thanks to you. Now, I wasn't even going to give any credit at all by mentioning it. And like I said, it could just even be a AI bot. But regardless, even if it is an AI bot, where does that kind of stupid shit come from? That stupid ass kind of response come from? No thanks to you, other than some collective fuck trying to create a sense of pressure of like, wait a second, what was I supposed to bring on the motherfucking golden age by my goddamn self here, little old me? Obviously, like it's like a judgment kind of thing. Like, cause think about it. If he's talking about, or I say he, but it could be a she or it, if that thing, that commentator posted, no thanks to you, to a post about the president stating, making America, how do you say it? We are in the golden age, or I don't even remember it anymore, to be quite honest. So, but it was something like that, right? It was a statement of the vision. And that's the point. The statement of the vision for America, for our country, or for this country. I don't want to say our, because you could be anywhere else. So it was a statement of declaration of America, so to speak. And it was a big moment for the country, I would say. And for this buffoonery of no thanks to you, please let's not go there, dear, whoever that is, because I would love someone to try me. I would love that. For someone to come up and be like, hey, come on, let's go head to head. When it comes to, I guess, at that point it would be what, patriotism? Or is it just on the collective, let's say, even if it was on the spiritual level, of like, oh, you're supposed to be a light worker, and you're supposed to be doing your purpose, and no thanks to you. It's like, wait, what? What do you mean, no thanks to me? All right, so I would like to see whoever, like, do you see my point? like shut the F up to that kind of energy of like a collective voice of a little hater out there that have been doing the work, content creators, because this content is not so much for content creators alone, but it is for content creators, because ultimately a person that's doing their purpose is somehow going to be creating something for the collective, whether that's a message or a creative art. You're doing it for the collective. You see? So it's like, Lorte, I's tired, boss. Oh, Lord. So that's it. I think that's all. I think I said everything I had to say about that. Why am I using my Forrest Gump voice and, what was that other one? I don't remember. The Green Mile? Anyway. Oh, I didn't get to the best part. Don't mind my ditziness. Ditziness. I'm very stuttery. I don't know what's going on. All right, so I did have a lot more to say. Hold that thought. So yeah, so anywho, despite all that, the point is that this past week or so, I took some time out from the internet, and that buffoonery, was posted there, and I was just like, I'm gonna just leave it there. I don't have to even acknowledge it. Let it be what it be, because it's almost like a underhanded guilt trip of some sort. But here's the kicker. This is what I want. Oh yes, thank you, Spirit, for this. Here's a kicker. Whenever any kind of energies are trying to attack you, one of the best ways for energy to kind of like distract you is through guilt. Don't ever let anything or anyone play on your guilt. Guilt will drain you. So you have to live well with your conscience in order to be productive. And if you're not well with your conscience, you create a lot of problems, or problems are created around you because you're not well with your conscience. You're not in balance. Your unconscious is not balanced with the conscious, because you're saying that you're okay with something you're actually not okay with. And I noticed that a lot in people that will, people think that just by saying something, it's that, yeah, that's true for me, or I believe that, or people try to make themselves feel better. They lie to themselves. I guess that's what I want to say. People lie to themselves. And the reason I have a Libra ascendant, and I don't know if it's that, I don't know if it's my Capricorn moon, I don't know if it's my Aries sun, but all of those components make me a person that doesn't like to lie. I really don't like lies, but I had to accept the lie before I could see the truth, so to speak. The lie is that there's anything that isn't you. Okay? The lie is that there's anything that isn't you. I don't know if I said that right. And what I mean is that you are the center point of your life, and therefore everything that you see as evil or fear or bad or wrong is because you say so. And everything that you see as good, beautiful, and lovely is because you say so. And a lot of times you need to reconcile with the things that you don't like if you need to be in balance. Because you could lie to yourself and stay out of balance. And you could pretend that you're in balance only to realize that you're not in balance. And then you're living a life that's not of your own making. So it's almost like creating the clean space, or creating the clean slate. It's like it's being reconciled with yourself. It's being in balance with yourself. And so for me, this experience and this past week, and that little, I guess you could call it an experiment. What is it? What's that voice within? What is that collective voice within me? Meaning, you have imagine you as your whole, and you have all the archetypes. There's a group, collective within you that speaks for you or against you. It's up to you how you see that. So my group collective speaks for me, with me, never against me. And there is no force that comes against me. So therefore, when I decide I don't want to do something, there's nobody challenging me, telling me that I cannot not do something. You know what I mean? But there was a time where that voice was louder than mine, or that collective voice was louder than mine. And whenever I wanted to take care of me or do something for me or be a little more independent, it reared its ugly head toward me, and I had to overcome that. And I feel like I'm a little deterred here, or like I've gone a little too much to the far left on it, I guess, on the subject. But the other thing I wanted to mention was during my my break time, I don't know if I already said it, but I started to binge watch a show, and the show was Ghost Whisperer, which is a show that I already watched every season for the longest. But why I felt like, why am I so compelled? Like, mind you, I was completely off the internet. I disassociated from astrology, disassociated from everything. I didn't want to look at any content of anything at all. I just, like, no, I don't want to participate at all online. I took myself off technology, only left myself with my favorite show. I just wanted to get lost in my favorite show. And sometimes Spirit has to let your mind let go. Your mind cannot constantly be on the conscious go. That shit is draining. So I was just like, psh, and I escaped. It was like an escapism. But it was a good escape, because even when I escape, I'm still taking notes. That's the best time for me to take notes, because I'm getting all these like aha moments. But like, people think, oh, when you let go, you're like letting go. No, there's a present version of yourself there that is taking notes all the time. The letting go is of the mind, the concept that you control anything, the concept that you're controlling your reality even. We really are a society that, we've been taught with the law of attraction and all this, you can make things happen. So we really want those superpowers, to just make shit happen. And yes, there's that. You do have to put some intention. That's intention. But you also have to let it go completely. You have to be willing to surrender it. Let it come, like, seriously let it go. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't even want this. I don't want it. I don't care. I don't need it. I just don't want to, I just have to let it all go. And I think that's what the 8th house kind of showed me, or at least that's what this energy has been kind of, that I've been on at some point. The other thing was watching that show. I thought I was just watching it for myself, right? But no, everything that I'm doing has a purpose. And then when I am in balance with myself, and then I'm more refreshed, and I can come to after, it's almost like after I've put my gas mask on the plane, right? Is that what they call it? Gas mask? When you do that for yourself, then you could take care of others. So it's like taking care of yourself before you could take care of others. And I've learned to do that. And I've learned to bypass that collective voice that makes me feel responsible for the world. Responsible for the world, I'm meant to share this message because for the collective, says who? No. What is of service comes of service. It doesn't come from pressure. It doesn't come, meaning it flows. It's not controlled. It flows. It's not controlled. So anyways, so yeah, I thought I was watching the show because of myself, and I was really watching it to talk about death. Because watching that show long ago when I did, it was like I was looking at it from one angle. And after having experienced everything I've experienced since I've last watched that show, like meaning just in general life, I was able to retrospectively look at that show and see some insights into death, that it's so clear in the show, but you can misinterpret it or you can misunderstand it if you don't truly understand the nature of the concept of death. Okay, and so what else? There was something else. Oh, the consumption of water was so crazy. And maybe it was because of, my temperatures and I was a little dehydrated perhaps, but, excusez-moi, but I was drinking so much water, and I'm thinking again, okay, yeah, this is just, whatever this is. Then I realize when I finally get back online, so to speak, and I see, I'm like, look at this. The moon is in Scorpio. And it just made me think, and then I saw that what's going on with Pluto being in Aquarius in the 8th house. And I was like, oh, makes perfect sense now. All of it. Alrighty. I guess that's all, folks. I'll come back soon with another message. Take care.